morning, everyone, and thank you all for attending this dedication of our newly renovated Fusion Center here at Newcastle County Department of Public Safety. We're rather fortunate here at Newcastle County in that I've traveled around, and most public safety organizations across this country are slowly attempting to move into the 21st century. We're fortunate here, and I'm so very proud because of the support that we get from our county executive, from our county council members, as well as others. We have continued to provide personnel, equipment, and technology to push our department well into the next century. The enhancements to our center, which you'll see in just a few minutes, will provide you with a clear vision, a focus on the technology at Newcastle County Department of Public Safety will employ to better serve the citizens of our great county. But before we move into the center, I have the county executive here. I need the Chief Administrative Officer, David Grimaldi, and our Chief of Communications, Emergency Communications, Jeffrey Miller. Now, during our is Bill here?
Absolutely.
There he is. You're so short. Come over here.
Stand up, Bill.
Stand up. During our planning stage, we decided to name this center after one of our leaders in public safety here in Newcastle County, a living legend, if I might. And with that, I need to bring a few people out to help us with this presentation. So if I could leave you for just 1 second. We have members of the honorees family here, and his wife Barbara, and one of his daughters, Teresa, some grandkids, in-laws, brothers, sisters, friends, and dear friends. Billy, we are very pleased and truly honored to name our Fusion Center after you. You've been a long-time friend of Newcastle County Department of Public Safety. You're a member of our Newcastle County government family and a lifelong resident of Newcastle County. You'll hear more about him in just a little bit inside, but if you will, please join me to invite the man who's already here, who has continually dedicated a tremendous amount of time, talent, resources, and beyond to public safety here in Newcastle County. We have chosen you, Billy, we have chosen you to name this center, and we truly appreciate you. So with that, I knew I got you. I knew I got you.
Have a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning to our honored and distinguished guests. And let me highlight some of Bill Bell's achievements first. Newcastle County Councilman Bill Bell is a native of Delaware, a lifelong resident of Newcastle County. He's a family man, being married to his wife Barbara for more than 40 years. He's raised 2 children, Jennifer and Teresa, and he's the proud grandfather of his 2 grandsons and granddaughters. Bill began serving as Newcastle County Councilman representing District 12 in 2004. His top priority then and is today improving public safety in our community by providing the staff, the equipment, and the other tools necessary to enhance the effectiveness of our police force, our paramedic service, our fire service, our emergency preparedness, and the 911 Communications Center. He's presently the co-chair of Newcastle County Council's Public Safety Committee. He's also a member of the Council's Finance, Administration, personnel, special services, land use, economic development, executive, and community service committees. Bill has dedicated his life to the public and the community that we serve in order to make Newcastle County safe and healthy. He's currently the Information and Communications Coordinator for the Delaware River and Bay Authority. He is the retired chief of the Newcastle County Department of Public Safety's 911 Emergency Communications Center. Bill served in 1990 as the president of NENA, the National Emergency Numbers Association, representing 911 centers throughout the entire United States. Bill joined the Holloway Terrace Fire Company in 1966 and later became chief of that company in 1975. He served in the capacity of chief for 11 consecutive years, and by a unanimous vote of all the membership of the Holloway Terrace Fire Company, Bill was bestowed the honor in 1986 of being called Chief Emeritus, meaning his company recognized him as being chief for life. Bill has spent his county time always working to improve the way we provide our services, not only to the public, but to our field responders. He started as a messenger in 1968, later a police cadet, moving on to become fire and EMS dispatcher in what then was known as the Fire Board, implementing the first new generation computer-aided dispatch system. The first dispatch system in 911 was implemented by Bill Bell, and then later in his career upgraded that computer system to new and improved technology, a $1 million project, moving the 911 center from Kirkwood Highway to our old facility that used to be in front here on DuPont Highway. I'm sure it was no easy feat. Bill took that on as a challenge. When he took that challenge on, they left the facility where they dispatched from desks and equipment like tables we're sitting at today. When he moved that, a $600,000 project, where the first dispatch consoles were implemented by Bill Bell. He oversaw the implementation of an 800 megahertz system that we still use today statewide to communicate with all of our field responders. At that time, a $5 million Newcastle County commitment. His integral part in bringing the enhanced 911 system to Delaware, allowing our call operators to be better informed about callers' phone numbers and locations when they called 911. So it's only fitting to name our latest initiative. This initiative, inspired by our county executive, Tom Gordon, sat here almost 6 months ago, sir. We had screens that were burning out. He said, that's just not going to do it. We need to replace that, and we're going to make it a wow factor. So the communications division took that project on, and we promise we will continue to deliver and improve. We've always been first here in Newcastle County, the first to implement Smart 911. We're the first center in the state that uses protocol to process every 911 call for service, ensuring that all of our citizens get call operators who are certified nationally and well-trained in the work that they do. So our Fusion Center concept is another first of its kind in this region, turning what used to be an emergency operations center into an information highway, giving us the ability to monitor real-time events while providing situational awareness to our first responders. This is a first of its kind video wall in this industry. With the technology behind it, it allows us to seamlessly coordinate information from dozens of collection points, including our latest CAD system. PJ, if you come spin this thing up for me. Allow us to give you some ideas of what this technology, thanks to our county executive, our administration, our county council, and specifically Councilman Bell, allow us the funding, the finances to get these things done to improve the services we provide, not only to our citizens, but for our first responders. We've enveloped into a new age an age where just last month, we started using a new CAD system. We'd replaced a 30-year-old CAD system that provided services to all the responders that we worked for in different ways. So we had police officers responding to emergencies, we had ambulances responding to emergencies, and they didn't always know each other was going to the same location, or if a bad guy has a gun. Today, our new CAD system is displayed over here. We can see every police unit, fire, medical, and EMS unit throughout all of Newcastle County. We know where they are, and we can send additional assistance and help to them immediately. We process all calls now with this new system as one call for service. That means the call taker takes the call, enters it into the CAD, and all the other dispatch agencies, 7 police agencies that we represent, and 24 fire and EMS agencies we represent, can now see all the information on one case, on who's responding, does the bad guy have a knife, did someone get shot? Our EMS people know that, our fire people will know that information, and so will our police. And all that information is delivered to them on their mobile laptops that are in their vehicles they're responding in. We have the ability to bring any HDTV signal in from whatever a provider of service allows us to do. Weather scanning for times that we have to become an emergency operations center and manage events. We have the ability to see every Newcastle County facility, camera, remotely, and we have the ability to see through a partnership with Arbor Management, thanks to Joe Fitzgerald, who works closely with our police department. They are our first customer of our True Fusion Center, being the first customer to agree to share their cameras at their apartment complexes. So, in the time of an emergency, when someone dials 911, and this is the only time we would look at their cameras, we would have the ability to call the cameras up and see what's going on there before the emergency responders arrive. We can give them the information of what we see there. Now, I understand right now you're looking at a parking lot. We don't have a whole lot going on in daytime in an apartment complex. But you can see the value of this when there's a shooting that takes place somewhere. If there's a fire somewhere, we can physically go online, look at this location, and give that information to our field responders. We also have public safety internet portal that we use internally, and a host of other systems that are managed all throughout this room can all be delivered into one location. So that one location, right here, watching all the information sources, the ability to include IP cameras from almost anywhere. We see we have the ability, we can see what's going on in every Newcastle County facility. With the partnership of Arbor Management, we've been able to work with them. Think of this. Let's paint this picture. If we get more people to sign on to the IP address camera system idea, a caller reports a shooting in a mall. That location, through a predetermined MOU, allows us the ability to access their IP-based surveillance cameras only in the time of a 911 emergency call. We begin to monitor the situation from this location, keeping our first responders up to date. We activate this room as what then becomes the EOC, or Emergency Operations Center. We bring in the police leaders, the fire and EMS leaders, into this center and show them that video information so they can make better, more well-informed decisions to mitigate the situation that they are responding to. But that's what this is ultimately going to lead to, better informed responders, ultimately having the ability to deliver this information in real time video to our field responders via smartphones, tablets, and laptops. And we owe that and tribute this room to Bill Bell. So I thank you, sir. With that being said, I have Bill, if you could come on up here for a second, please. And Barbara, if you could make your way up this way. Certainly want to make sure that you recognized your wife's years of service to help you provide us with all we do.
I appreciate it, Chief.
Thank you. For a few more minutes. We'll bring the county executive up, please. The Director of Public Safety. And we have the CAO as well. We have a couple more presentations real quick. You want to speak first?
Yeah.
So we're going to have the executive speak, so it's my honor to introduce Tom Lewis.
We are going to allow Bill Bell to speak. But this came to my attention recently because one person I want to introduce, Michael Pizzicast. Where are you, Mike? Mike was responsible for a lot of the funding along with County Council, and we literally bought hundreds of thousands of dollars to bring this police department back to the best of the country. And I think right now we're on the leading edge. So what happens when you're on the leading edge? It occurred that one day when I was introducing Bill Bell, this was the guy that brought us here. He told me a little while ago, we used to have 9 7-digit numbers you used to have to call in to find the police department. He literally was the one that created the 3-digit 911. And you heard about his other accomplishments. We're at a point in our future where we're going to call upon him to take us to the next generation. What happens is we have so much high-tech stuff in the next room in the cars, the threat of terrorism looming, that they're not telling you what this can do. We're going to be talking to someone right after this thing where every school, mosque, temple, mall can push a button and up on a screen will come their cameras. And we will see, even in the case of a fire, you'll be able to see the inside of the building, inside of the mall. And in this room will be a protocol where the state police or county police chief, the paramedic chief, our chief of 911, the fire chief will be sitting here with live dispatch looking at this whole screen. Will be for example, the mall, they'll decide where the problem is and the whole screen will be that problem. And from here will be dispatched, whether it's military or whatever that response is. The cars on the way there will be looking at the same screen that we are, all done by the computers in what's called predictive policing, where they're smarter than all of us in this room. And it's such a fascinating point to be in life that we now are at a point where there are no more programs, we need programmers. And we need the vision of Billy Bell of where we take it from this point. There's a lot of people, including Tom Ferris, who helped build this today. But we have a great team here with Joe Bryant, Chief Setting, Chief Miller, Larry Tan, and Dave Cartman, who have been a great team to work with. It's great to be able to say we didn't waste the money. We have tremendous decreases already in crime and in increased responses. And we hope to look for the future to say that we're going to stay number one, and it's because of this group behind me. I would like to make sure I introduced everybody. I would like to give Billy a chance to have a shot at the microphone.
I just told him that's a mistake, but humbling, honored, proud. I'll take a few minutes just to gather my thoughts, but first and foremost, I thank my family. We in life do not accomplish a lot or do a lot in life without our family. It's always been can't look at work. But our family is our mainstay, and so I thank all of you for being here. But today is about team. And I am Bill Bell, and I'm proud to have served in this department. I work for only 2 within the state of Delaware and the region. I'm very blessed and fortunate to work for 2 gold standard police agencies. Newcastle County Police, Colonel Setting, Colonel Richard Arroyo, Delaware River and Bay Authority, the 2 only gold standard CALIA agencies in the tri-state region. And so we have a tremendous law enforcement community, tremendous fire, rescue, and emergency medical services, emergency management. So my point all comes back to team. A lot of nice things have been said, but it was accomplished through team. It was accomplished through folks that are my friends, were my fellow public safety personnel, and law enforcement, emergency communications, emergency management, and fire rescue and EMS. And so when we advance, when we continue to have a vision to look to the future and what the needs are, it's folks like Dave Roberts, Jeff Miller that's carrying on the tradition, history, and the needs of the Communications Center. But we're all truly blessed to not only have a team, but have excellent leadership in our organization. I look at Newcastle County, I look at all the departments in the county, and I am so grateful and thankful to our county executive for not only having the vision, the commitment to all of Newcastle County residents, but especially to public safety, and to not only provide the funding, but it's just an ongoing commitment to each and every one of us. So when I talk about team, I kind of think, just the word fusion, and you think about what it's all about. And it is so imperative today that we stay focused on the fact that we've come a long way, but we've got to maintain and continue to progress in the future. We gather, we need to be vigilant. We face a clear and present threat throughout our country, throughout our communities each and every day. And it's not only from outside the borders of our country, but within our communities. Violent crime, terrorism. So a center like this, to be able to gather, to be able to process, to be able to analyze, and be able to share information is so vitally important. Not only to protect the citizens that we all serve, but to protect the men and women on the front line, our law enforcement, fire, rescue, and emergency medical service personnel. This is where it all begins. It's the vital link. The 911 Emergency Communications Center, the Fusion Center, working in concert, working as a team. And when you think about interconnectivity, we hear a lot about that, interoperability. We've got to be focused on interagency and sharing information. So I'm very proud of my association with each and every one of you. It's not about self, because in public safety, we all know that it's about serving others. It's never been, and should never be about self. So, with that being said, I'm looking here, and Scott Green is our Executive Director, Delaware Bay Authority, Frank Miner, Greg Chambers, which I'd love to have him part of this community outreach program in the county, because he does such a tremendous job over Delaware Bay Authority and HR. But I'm looking, and I can go back in years, and Scott was our county attorney, and now he's our executive director. And it's folks and leaders like that that allow us to continue to participate together and accomplish the great things we do. We have police, fire, rescue, and EMS and communications leadership that are clearly second to none within the county, within our state, and beyond the state of Delaware. So this is gratifying, it's humbling, and I am very appreciative, very thankful. And once again, I thank the county executive because this wouldn't have happened without Tom Gordon. I know Tom Gordon and known him for a long time, and I know when he focuses on something and says he's going to get it done, he gets it done. And he has a tremendous administration and team. Joe Bryant, Joe, we go back a long way, and it's fascinating because you're the chief of emergency communications and Joe's the major of the police department. You go over and retire and fortunate and blessed enough to be hired by Delaware River Bay Authority in the police department. And next thing I know, here's Joe. And Joe became, he was our deputy police administrator and then became colonel before Tom stole him back and brought him back over to county to be director of public safety. And Dave Grimaldi, everybody can throw things at folks that have to administrate and have to crunch numbers and have to make tough decisions. But Dave is a very bright young man. He's doing a tremendous job for Newcastle County. And I'd like to say to my family, I'm so grateful. It's a wonder Peyton hasn't ran up yet and grabbed Pop. They told me I had to get out of the house early this morning. My colonel is something else, I can tell you that. Vince McConey just joined us as our chief operations officer and was has worked in state and worked in county government for years and everything. And now we're very blessed and proud to have him aboard at Delaware River Bay. And there's so many faces here that I can relate to, chiefs, communications, fire marshals, fire commission. I mean, it's all here. But we're blessed to have the leadership we have. We're blessed to have the team we have. And we'll continue to move forward, but we have to continue to have a vision of the future. And I'll finish in saying, and I've said this many times before, our 35th President of the United States, John Kennedy, when he once said, "The change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or the present are certain to miss the future." Right? We're not going to miss the future. We're here in the present. Analytical taps, targeted analytical policing, fusion centers, bringing everybody together as a team. Second to none, folks. You're all second to none. And I'm very appreciative to have been part of this team. I'll continue to be part of the team. And very appreciative of your friendship, your support, and helping me through the years to be all that I could be in life. So, thank you.
It's my honor to introduce our CAO, David Grimaldi.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you, Councilman Bell. It's one of the best men that I've had the opportunity of working with, and I'm so proud that we can dedicate this room to you today, sir. Thank you. I'd like to thank County Executive Gordon for his ongoing commitment to public safety. This is for the first time in history. We have more police officers and paramedics on the street than at any time. Brand new police vehicles, radios, predictive policing technology, and this new fusion center all illustrate the commitment to public safety by not just this county executive, but this county council. I'd like to say a word about Chief Miller because he's somewhat humble and hasn't quite mastered the art of shameless self-promotion, so let me help him out. Under his leadership over the last year and a half, he has reduced 911 call waiting times by 98%. He was the first mover on Smart 911, and thanks to him, there are thousands of people in Newcastle County that have signed up for their public safety profile, and mark my words, lives are going to be saved thanks to your work, sir. Today's Fusion Center, which is a little bit reminiscent of the Minority Report, illustrates further advancement in technology, and again, you're a first mover in Newcastle County. So thank you, Jim.
So as you heard the county executive allude to, we can't do things like this without funding. It's just not going to work. And we were down to the wire trying to find how our partnership with the company that did this work, IMS, was going to come to fruition. So the Honorable Mike Kazakowski, in your continued efforts to support public safety, we can't thank you enough for your financial contribution that made this Fusion Center possible. Thank you. When it comes to technology, he's telling me to read it. I didn't put my glasses on. But when it comes to technology, none of this takes place without a good technological team. But the RIS department John Nearly oversees, their excellence in service, the service they provide to our public safety professionals, 400, 500 laptops that they keep all of our field responders well informed in, but the work they did, and additionally a capital funding project to provide money to this. So we thank you as well. And your And then last but certainly not least, the 3 months in the making to build the Fusion Center along with their IMS company and to get this technology done. You know, you have to move mountains in 90 days in county government. That's not always the easiest thing to do. So Thomas J. Ferris, or better known as TJ, oh, snuck behind me, huh? He works in our emergency management office, and he literally put this entire piece together for all of us. He managed this thing days, nights, came in on weekends working with the technology people to connect all the appropriate connectivity to the consoles in the back of the room to make sure that everything works. So for your great work, thank you so very much.
Thank you all for joining us for this grand opening of our Fusion Center, named after Councilman Bell.